Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in rainy Lauderdale by the Sea. Beautiful day out there, and of course I say that all the time, even when it's raining, because you know what? If you can't appreciate the rainy days, then you certainly will never appreciate the sunny days. Got to have both in order to appreciate each other. Lovely day out there as far as, as far as rain goes. Anyway, let's move along to Friday's wrap-up report. Talk about what happened yesterday, what happened today, and obviously what's not going to happen over the weekend, but maybe on Monday. First thing, I'm going to move on to here, and wow, you know what? I didn't want to hit you with this terrible message here, but maybe it is time to panic. and good, here, that was like a nervous laugh. That wasn't like my happy laugh. I'll have to show you the difference between my happy laugh and my nervous laugh. But when you hear me go, that's like my nervous laugh. And actually, it is kind of time to panic, and it has been time to panic for quite some while. And I'll tell you why. Because this is probably not new news, but it's kind of making the headlines now, especially with the Wall Street Journal. But the Zero Hedge says it best. U.S. budget deficit triples to a record $3.1 trillion in 2020 as U.S. spends 90% more than it collects. Well, what does this mean? We're going to go bankrupt, or we're going to have to tax people more money, one or the other, or maybe a little bit of both. A little bit of bankruptcy, a little bit of extra taxes, because I don't see how they're going to pull themselves out of this hole other than maybe just print their way out of it, which we're going to get to that in a second, because this is like the two hurricanes hitting at once. And as you can tell, Wall Street Journal, not so much dramatic about it, spends 90% more than it collects. It's kind of like, Zero Hedge is good like that, throwing a little perspective into it. Wall Street Journal kind of sugarcoats it up here in the left-hand corner. U.S. budget gap tripled to a record in last fiscal year. Well, they make it sound like they broke some collegiate football record, or they're winning some kind of race, and they are actually. They're winning a race to the bottom, is what we're doing here. However, if you notice, it is in the top left-hand corner of the Wall Street Journal, so it is kind of official. U.S. budget gap tripled to a record in last fiscal year. Well, we can blame this on Trump, I'm sure, and they will. But the fact is that this spending has been going on for decades and decades. It's only got worse under every administration, left and right. However, I've got to admit that Trump has not been increasing taxes as much, but they got to get the money from somewhere, otherwise the dollar is just going to go bust, and that kind of seems what it's happening at this point. Most politicians just kick the can down the road for the next guy, and they're all guilty of it, every single one of them. But anyway, I'm kind of digressing into politics, and I do apologize, but this is like a double. I'll show you where the double hurricane is. First off, knowing that our budget gap has just incredibly been blown out the window, and the other thing too that's been happening for a while, and you don't see this in Wall Street Journal, is foreigners dump U.S. treasuries in August. China's holdings dropped to almost a 4-year low in U.S. treasuries. And what this means, folks, is guess where all these dollars go to? They come back to us to roost here, which means inflation for us more than likely. Foreigners in China don't want our dollars. They want to divest of our dollars for many reasons, one of which being is we blew the Bretton Woods Agreement. We blew it years ago. They all know it. We know it. And if you've been following my reports and my shows here, you know what the Bretton Woods Agreement. Also, it is a fiat currency they're holding. They know it. We know it. Everyone knows it. However, if you've been following my show, again, you know what a fiat currency is, and you know what the Bretton Woods Agreement. Both of these things fare terribly for the U.S. dollar. Horrible, horrible. We're in really terrible times right here. I mean, this is economically, as bad a news as you can get right here. I mean, not as bad as news, but it's not good. It's not good at all. And you know how I'm always telling you, I read the Wall Street Journal. I look at that so I can look at things, a lot like what Trump said, or retail spending is probably a good thing. But boy, there's a lot of economic news in here. But typically, it's been politics for a while. But these are the kind of things that I look for the Wall Street Journal. U.S. budget gap tripled. I mean, what does this tell us as gold and silver owners? And if you've been watching my little show here, you'll know what this tells us. This is not good for the dollar, which means this is good for precious metal holders. And again, foreigners dump U.S. treasuries in August. China's holding dropped to almost a 4-year low. This is not good for the U.S. dollar. However, is this good for us? Well, it absolutely is don't panic. You know why? I'll tell you exactly why you don't want to panic and everything's cool, because you're watching my show and you're invested in gold and silver. So, as a visual with my voice behind it, I'm kind of just trying to drive this little fact home. Yeah, it's time to panic economically in the United States. We're going to start to see inflation pop up its ugly head because of the Fed has just been printing nonstop and bailouts and all this nonsense, buying votes with PPE and buying votes with corporate welfare and buying votes with unemployment. And the foreigners know that. That's why they're divesting of dollars. They know this. They know that we're just cranking the printing machines up, and they can't trust the dollar anymore. And they used to trust the dollar, but no more. And these are the reasons why. Not to make our report really long here on Friday. However, I'm trying to explain why things happen. And there's the question about why does it happen? The question mark. And I'm trying to explain to you folks that are gold and silver holders, don't panic. We're cool, man. Gold and silver is kind of like that hedge against this dollar fall. I think it's a good thing to own. Now, am I telling you, I'm not giving you investment advice. I'm just telling you what my opinion is based on all the years I've been buying and selling. Again, I want you to make your own opinion. I don't want to make you think that I'm the expert in everything, even though I probably know a lot more than most people do, and a lot more than most people that don't do this for a living do. But needless to say, I have been right like 95% of the time on my daily picks. However, I've said this many times. I want to remind you with this visual right here is even me. Everyone is a genius during a bull market. Remember that. Repeat that to yourself. All these experts out on YouTube and all these experts on TV. Well, the experts on TV and the experts in corporate media suck. Don't ever listen to them on precious metals. However, all these experts out here, and including myself, it's hard to be wrong in a bull market when you're saying that the market's going to be up. Now, if you're a contrarian and you're saying that the market's going to be down and you're consistent and you nail it, man, bravo, man, you are the best. However, in a bull market, everyone's a genius, and that generally applies to everything. That applies to stocks, bonds, housing, everything. Everyone's a genius in a bull market. All you got to say, it's going to be up next week or next month, and it probably will be. And that's where we are with precious metals. We are in a bull market for gold, silver, and platinum. Let me move along here. Boy, that's such a pretty picture, isn't it? Let's see here. Well, let's talk about spot prices because that's why we're here. Markets are closed over the weekend, going to open up Sunday night. I can't tell a lot. Again, I've been telling you my little trend I've been following is that for some reason world spot prices have been leading New York the following day unless there is U.S. dollar weak or strength. If there's U.S. dollar strength, it seems like that we've had lower days. And sometimes on a really, when the dollar kind of skyrockets, we've had some really tough days for a couple days, but it doesn't last long. Dollar strength is only temporary. Why is dollar strength temporary? Well, not because it's time to panic, because maybe it is, but because U.S. budget deficits triples to record 3.1 trillion. That is why we're in a bull market. Why else are we in a bull market with precious metals? Because no one trusts, I don't want to say no one trusts the dollar, but less and less people are trusting the dollar. Where's my, there it is, dollar. Foreigners dump U.S. Treasury. And again, I don't mean to keep going back to this, but that's the reason we are in a bull market right now for those reasons, because of a declining dollar, and people are just going to be afraid to put their money in different areas, and they know that gold, the one thing you know about gold and silver that everyone knows from Wall Street is that you'll never wake up in the morning, you'll never ever wake up in the morning and you'll hear on CNBC, well, gold went bankrupt, Chapter 11, Chapter 7, and 5,000 years that's never happened, and it never will happen. So that's why you own gold and silver and precious metals. Sorry, didn't mean to digress again. Oh, it looks like I'm going to end the show here too, so let me pop back here and go over what I think is going to happen. I told you yesterday that I thought we were going to see par value or slightly up, and that's unless we saw some kind of dollar strength, and that's exactly what we saw today. We saw kind of a par value day, 1900. Silver, same thing, about 24, and platinum about 864. Just kind of blah, blah trading in precious metals. Nothing got monkey hammered because of a strong dollar and monkey hammering, of course. And again, normally I tell you I look at the world spot prices to give me an indication of what might happen on Monday in New York markets. And this is not really giving me much, except not much of anything. I suspect that based on this, unless we see dollar strength on Monday again, some kind of anomaly in dollar strength, I think that you'll see prices kind of hover in this 1900 range, give or take $10 or $15. Same thing with silver, same thing with platinum. I don't see anything big, any big movers right now. Everything seems to be kind of in a zombie state because of the election and everyone's trying to figure out what to do. And that includes gold, silver, and platinum. So I think maybe a $10 or $15 move that way. And silver is just crazy, so it could move $1 either way for all we know. And platinum, I think, is just going to sit at this level until gold really starts to make its move. So that's what I think is going to happen on Monday, about par value, a bit less. Unless over the weekend we see something that indicates that we're going to have some dollar strength, in which case I think we could see a down market. If not, again, I think par value about the same. Well, I shouldn't say that. If we see something that sees a weakness and is going to create a strong weakness in the dollar, and this thought just occurred to me, and what could do that? Well, what could do that is this news right here, 3.1 trillion. But I don't know how long the market's known about this news. And what else could make a difference is this news right here. However, I'm sure gold and silver, this news is not just today. It's been out for a little while, and gold and silver has already reacted to that news. But if you get the drift I'm talking about, if this just kind of popped up over the weekend and the dollar was going to show weakness on Monday on the opening with gold and silver, you could probably expect gold and silver to be up. Again, I think really you have to tie gold and silver right now and platinum to the dollar strength. When you see the dollar get strong, you'll see weakness in metals. When you see the dollar get weak, you'll see strength in metals. However, you will see times when that will always not come into play. But I think with this bull market, this is really the primary driver of precious metals at the moment. Anyways, don't forget this statement. Everyone's a genius during a bull market. That includes you and me. So just take what I say as advice and some guy that's been doing this a long time for a living. And, you know, I don't always get it right, but take what I say and use it for your own trading advice. Don't just take my opinion, make your own. I always say that. Anyway, this is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in rainy Lauderdale by the Sea. God, it looks like midnight already, and it's not even 6 o'clock. However, that sun is kind of getting a little bit darker every night. Man, I wish they quit screwing with the daylight savings time and just make it sunny all day and sunny all night. I could use some more sun during my daytime. Anyways, wow, I don't know where that came from. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in Lauderdale by the Sea. Call me anytime, Mondays through Fridays, at 954-493-8811 for live quotes on gold, silver, platinum, and to ask us what the best deal of the day is. I always say that I will match or beat all online sellers if I can. If I can't, I will humbly say I can't do it on that deal and advise you where I think you can get a better deal. Listen, I'm all about my customers, and that's the truth. If you're watching this from outside my area, I only do face-to-face sales. We don't do any internet or online sales or anything. So if you don't live in my area, don't hesitate to give me a call. I've been in this business since I was a kid. I know people all over the country, and I can probably give you good advice who to go to. That's it. Have a great weekend, and let's see what happens on Monday. Talk to you soon.